Okay, let's dive into this. Have you noticed the sudden explosion of overnight experts online lately? You know the ones. You open your feed, and bam, instantly there's someone sitting in a dimly lit room talking into a high end podcast mic with absolute, unquestionable certainty. And they're tackling incredibly complex stuff: social issues, politics, the messy web of human relationships. Well, in this explainer, we're going to visually unpack the actual architecture of this post-truth environment. We'll look at the exact mechanisms these influencers use to capture our attention and honestly shape our reality. But first, it begs a massive question. Why do we trust the screen? Why on earth do we hand over instant authority to charismatic figures just because they pop up on our devices? It's kind of wild when you think about it. I mean, if a total stranger walked up to you on the sidewalk and started loudly declaring their stance on global events, you'd probably just walk the other way, right? Yet, the second they're framed inside a glowing rectangle, we stop, we listen, we subscribe. The validity of their opinions isn't actually coming from years of academic research or field experience. Nope, it's literally being generated by the screen itself. Section 1. The seduction of influence and the illusion of the image. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the trap is set. The whole illusion relies on three incredibly potent aesthetic pillars. First off, a charismatic presence. You gotta look the part. Second, advanced video techniques. We're talking rapid jump cuts that literally do not let your brain look away, paired with, perfect ring lighting. And third, evocative music and sound design welling up in the background just to tug at your emotions. When you put all that together, it synthesizes this aura of absolute validity out of thin air. It captures our attention in seconds, handing the speaker this totally unearned authority. There's this profound idea that captures the whole thing perfectly. In the online world, what seems and what appears matters a great deal. Actually, it often matters way more than the essence, the truth, or the actual authenticity of what's being said. We get so completely blinded by the glossy production value, the pretty images, that we literally forget the purpose of truth. We wind up confusing free expression with a highly produced, heavily edited cover-up. Section 2. The hidden agendas. We're talking mercantile and ideological motives here. Now, what's really interesting about this is how clearly a pattern emerges when we compare what influencers do with what they actually want. When they're begging for subscriptions, they're really just building a community to use as leverage. When they're pushing products, well, that's a mercantile cash grab, right? Selling diet supplements or locking down brand deals. But the most dangerous mechanism? Subtle commentary. The ones who act the most discreetly often have massive, vested interests backing them. They're just using their content to quietly impose a specific ideology on the masses. Which brings us to a fascinating yet admittedly disturbing mechanism regarding global events. A lot of influencers take highly charged stances, even generating friction or supporting views that might go against common moral sense, specifically to divide the masses. By fueling opposing opinions, they're weaponizing social conflict to farm engagement and grow their own leverage. And the collateral damage? An actively fractured public. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. Redefining the truth and escaping the online illusion. So let's contrast this manufactured online illusion with authentic truth. The online illusion is sold to you. It's imposed. It literally chases you down your feed. It's desperately curated. And at the end of the day, it's owned by an agenda. Authentic truth, though, it cannot be bought or sold. It doesn't insist or chase you down. It has absolutely zero commercial interest, and most importantly, it's universally accessible. Anyone can express it, and it's completely independent of how good your camera quality or background lighting happens to be. Let's just slow down for a second here, because this definition is incredibly powerful. Truth is a gentle calling toward itself, a call that may or may not be heard, but a gentle and, in any case, sincere one. Just think about the stark difference between that and some screaming influencer begging you to smash the like button. Truth doesn't yell. It doesn't need rapid jump cuts or dramatic background music to be valid. It's just a gentle, sincere calling. Which brings us to Section 4, your mental defense toolkit. These are the 5 capacities of the mind you need to defend yourself. Okay, here is your cognitive defense sequence. Step 1 is doubt. And, in this context, doubt isn't a weakness at all. It's actually the ultimate proof of thinking. Don't just accept the image at face value. Step 2 is critical and analytical thinking. That means stripping away the background music to look at the raw data. Step 3, comparative thinking. Actively seeking out opposing viewpoints to shatter the algorithm's echo chamber. And step 4 is contemplative thinking, purposefully quieting the relentless noise of your feed so you can let the truth naturally reveal itself. So,
The crucial point is this final step, step 5, preserving the essence of truth as a high ideal. We've got to view truth as something elevated, far, far above brand deals, sponsored posts, and the present-focused panic of the algorithm. Honestly, actively engaging these mental mechanisms is our absolute best defense against the whole manipulative, post-truth architecture of social media.
Which leaves us with a final question. The next time you open your device and a super charismatic expert suddenly appears on your screen, how will you react? Will you fall for the highly edited, loud illusion of the image? Or will you activate your mental toolkit, look past all the aesthetics, and listen for the gentle calling of truth? Just a little something to keep in mind the next time you log on.